Alrighty, let's move on. Alrighty, not exactly what you want to hear from a potential number one overall pick. We see that Trevor Lawrence kind of got in trouble with some comments that he's previously made and kind of some of the comments that his dad made, his wife made. We've heard that, his wife saying, there's bigger things than football, and his dad saying that, he honestly could walk away from football at any time and be all right with it. We get Joe Burrow saying himself that he doesn't have a huge chip on his shoulder, that everyone's out to get me, and he's not really trying to prove everybody wrong. So some not real great quotes there. And I want to preface this before we kind of get into this kind of whole discussion, because everyone's like, oh, it's just a sport, it's life, and this is a sport. They're getting paid millions of dollars to do a sport, blah blah blah. But like, folks, all right, let's all relax. Is there bigger things? Is there things bigger than football? Yes, absolutely. I mean, come on. Absolutely, we know this, but there are some people that love competition. I am a big fan of just overall competition. Everybody trying to win. Who's going to win? Who's going to pull out of the stops? Who's got the skills to do so? Who's got kind of the the intellect to kind of pull one over on everybody else? That who's just going to scheme or play his way to winning? Of all these people collectively coming together and playing a game, a sport, anything of the sort. So yes, there's things bigger than football, and that's fine. If you want to believe that, if you kind of want to roll with that mantra and be like, what, I like this game because I'm good at it, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm just doing it because I'm good at it. I do like it. I'm good at it. I get paid for it. So that's fine. If you want to be that guy, be that person, that player, I've got no problems with that. I truly don't. Or if you kind of want to be the one that's like, what, I'm going to dominate this fucking sport. I'm going to win. I'm going to be the greatest of all time. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to eat, sleep, breathe, die, sweat, bleed this game because I love it that much. That's all right too, and I kind of like that a little bit better than the other guy. But yes, if you want to do that as well, absolutely go for it. But what you can't do, if you're going to be the first guy, be like, what, there's bigger things than football, and then, you're not kind of getting talked about in the media, or kind of people are like, I can kind of tell that he's really not in it, or, when we're having the greatest of all time discussion, and we kind of, start talking about, or we don't kind of talk about that one player that's not kind of giving it his all 24/7, then don't come crying to us when we're not talking about you at the greatest of all time discussion. Because I'm gonna kind of give it to the guy that's showing us time and time again, Tom Brady. We hear quotes of him all the time of his dad saying that he has to drag Tom Brady off of the field. We get Michael Jordan, who would literally do whatever it took to win the game. We hear stories all the time of just how competitive Michael Jordan was. And when we kind of look at, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, I mean, they're like, yeah, this is a sport and I like playing it, but, blah, blah, blah. Like, they don't act like the greatest of all time. They seem like they're kind of like Trevor Lawrence right here. Yeah, I can take it or leave it. I'm just doing this because I'm good at it and I can get paid for it. And I do still like the game, but I'm not ready to kind of, sink my 24/7 life into this game. It's a sport to me. It's not, kind of a lifestyle. It's not my life. So there is two different trains of thought. One, both are fine. I truly don't care, but I'm going to always side with that man that, eat, bleeds, sleeps, dies this game because he's putting more into it. That's going to translate what we see on the field. And if, his energy is infectious, that's going to rile up everybody else on that team to make them play even more better as well. So we hear all these kind of quotes of Trevor Lawrence not really taking it too seriously, or could take it way more seriously compared to everybody else that, is in the draft that's come before him. We see Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, all that sort. But then Trevor Lawrence kind of, shores up his quotes a little bit here. All right, let's see what we get here. Quote here, kind of clarifying what he meant here. Trevor Lawrence right here. Quote, "It seems as if people are misreading my sentiment. I am internally motivated. I love football as much or more than anyone. It is a huge priority in my life. Obviously, I am driven to be the best I can be and to maximize my potential and to win. And I have a lot of confidence in my work ethic. I love to grind and to chase my goals. You can ask anyone who has been in my life. That being said, I am secure in who I am and what I believe. I don't need football to make me feel worthy as a person. I purely love the game and everything that comes with it, the work, the team, the ups, the downs, and I'm a firm believer in the fact that there is a plan for my life and I am called to be the best I can be at whatever I am doing. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk, LOL." So that was his quote. Not the best. I mean, once again, kind of, still kind of, being like, yes, I love football and, I don't need all this outside motivation. I want to win and I have this kind of work ethic internally. And I agree with that. I kind of, can kind of, relate to that a little bit as well. So I understand that, but it's going to come down to what he's going to do on the field. If he's a winner, I mean, this could kind of go back to why Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he had that great year one, but then he won the championship and then never got back there, never really looked the same, never as kind of dominant as he was that first year. So we hear kind of all these, talks, he could, leave at any point. We see him kind of, get a little worse throughout the years over there at Clemson when he was still in college. So we'll see what it's like for Trevor Lawrence here in the NFL, but we have to remember that the Jags head coach is Urban Meyer, folks, the Ohio State, the ex-Ohio State college quarterback or college coach. And he had to step away from the game because he took it way too seriously. He took it too seriously. Like, it was affecting his own health. Like, the doctor was like, yeah, you probably should not be this fired up. And now he went to the NFL. So, I mean, we got Trevor Lawrence, whose dad and girlfriend's like, yeah, there's bigger things than football. He could walk away at any moment. Pairing up with Urban Meyer, who's like, I will fucking die on this field. I do not care. I will die coaching, y'all. I want to win that bad. So, we'll see what's going to happen here. I still think Trevor Lawrence gets taken number 1 overall in the draft. I mean, we can't deny his talent on the field. It is there. So we'll see what happens. But if Trevor Lawrence is still kind of, just kind of looking, solid out there, not really elevating his play. I mean, we still hear some of these quotes about him and still kind of hear all these stories of him not taking it 1,000% seriously out here. Then, he shouldn't be upset if we don't call him the greatest of all time. Like Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is so upset that nobody calls him the greatest point guard of all time or the greatest player in the league currently, but he doesn't put as much time into that LeBron puts in, that energy, that kind of mentality. And same thing with Kevin Durant. The man can stay healthy. First of all, if he could stay healthy, he'd be the greatest of all time. But once again, he kind of, acts like Kyrie, not taking it 1,000% seriously. And like I said, that's fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. If you just want to play basketball and collect a check, kind of like Kawhi Leonard, but he kind of, still takes it personally, just doesn't like to be in the media. If you want to be like that, that's fine. We've got no problem with that. Go collect that check, collect that millions of dollars. I would probably do the same thing. I don't know what I would do in this situation. I think I would take it a little bit more seriously, but at the end of the day, I would probably be like, you know what? I've got money, so I do not care what any of y'all say to me. So just don't get upset if you don't take it 1,000% seriously. If there's other people taking it way more seriously than you, just don't get upset with me, the media, anybody else that talks about sports, because we love competition and we want to see the greatest go at it. That's why we love sports. We want to see the greatest go at it and see what happens when greatness is matched up with greatness and who can kind of be the greatest, who can be the best. There can only be one winner, folks. Who's it going to be? Because I'm trying to be that one and only winner. If there's only one winner, I'm trying to be it. So do not get mad at us. Do not get mad at the media if you do not take it 1,000% seriously, and then, in turn, we don't talk about you as the greatest of all time. Do not get upset with us. That is on you. That is you. You got money. You didn't want to be the greatest of all time. You got money. That ain't my problem. You got the money. It's my problem for not having money. But we'll talk about other players better than you because they're putting more work in than you. They're putting more kind of their mental state in this game, in this kind of huge competitive field, to be the best of the best, to be on top 20, 50, 100 years from now when my future generation is talking. When the new generation is talking about sports 100 years from now, are they going to be talking about Kyrie Irving or are they going to be talking about LeBron James? I think they're going to be talking about LeBron James. I think Kyrie Irving is going to get kind of swept under the rug a little bit. So, alrighty, Trevor Lawrence. Hopefully you don't flounder out on the field because it's not going to be good for you. Everybody's going to be pulling up those quotes time and time again from that man.